mystery bounty format. I think this is your specialty because everybody wants to knock you out. That's where the money is. You have won 140,000 in bounties only.
I guess a run that everybody dreams of. The moment I kind of fell in love with the game was like the Aussie Millions on TV. There was a hand where this guy was value betting, but he made it look like he was bluffing. And then in my head, I was like, oh, you can do that? Like, it was like a concept that I'd never thought about. And then that's when I realized, I was like, oh, there's actually a lot to this game. It's not just what cards you're looking at. There's actually a lot of depth.
Because all you take is one bad move, one wrong decision, and you can be out of the game.
100%. Yeah, I think everybody in poker has to deal with tilt. If I do feel myself getting tilted or starting to get impatient, you just have to walk away.
Prepare yourself mentally, or any ritual which you do to calm yourself, or steps you take before the game?
Casual walk, but as long as you're outside, breathing in fresh air, it kind of settles you, gets you focused, ready for the game.
Maybe we should start him yoga classes,
Yeah.
teach some breathing exercises.
I mean, go sit in the middle of the venue and just start doing yoga. Who cares what anyone thinks?
Read or a tell sign which you look for.
And then in bounties, there is some strategy that you can employ.
Would you care to share one?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Like, since the last 3 years, you've been playing big games, you've been winning a lot of games. Your name is doing the circles. So what is your strategy right now? Like, what is your game plan? Where do you see yourself in the next, say, 2 to 3 years? Hi everyone, welcome to Brisbane Poker Club. I'm your host Aman. Today I'm very excited to sit down with this local Brisbane player who has won more than $650,000 in live tournaments. His name is Adam Thaggard. He's a rising name in the pocket circuit in Australia, and he's a very humble, down-to-earth person. During my discussion with him, we discussed about his history, background, what he's doing right now, and what are his plans for future, and the mindset and the strategy. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm very sure you're going to have a lot of fun watching this show. If you like what we are doing, please help us out. Like the video and subscribe to it, and also write in the comment if there's any particular player you'd like us to interview. So for the time being, sit back, relax, and enjoy this all-in conversation.
Think dentist? Think Dentaglow.
Adam, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Yeah.
Pleasure. So Adam, I keep seeing you in the poker circuit, especially in Brisbane and Gold Coast.
Yes.
But finally, I got the chance to sit down with you and have this chat.
Yeah.
To begin with, Adam, can you tell me a little bit about your background?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm born in Brisbane. Lived in Queensland my whole life. I have my parents are from Fiji, so they were born in Fiji. And they migrated to Australia about, I would say, 40 years ago. Yeah.
And work-wise, I believe you are in medical field?
Yeah, so I'm a pharmacist. So I work full-time in a community pharmacy. So that keeps me very busy. And it's a bit, hard to find time around for poker, but yeah.
I see a lot of medical professionals actually coming into poker scene.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors, a lot of dentists, a lot of pharmacists, they're coming.
Yeah.
Normally they're good in bioscience, but poker requires a lot of maths.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So what's your take? What's the secret sauce behind it?
I think a lot of those, they love the challenge. So they pretty much love poker because it's quite challenging and there's a lot that you can learn and improve on. And I think a lot of the health professionals, you have to have a quite good attention to detail. So I feel like that is a benefit because obviously in health, you need to make sure you have to be quite detailed. So that carries over into poker, in my opinion. So
no, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
But tell me, how did you start playing poker? You were mentioning the journey started 15 years back. Can you walk us through? How did you get into poker scene, and then how did you,
Yeah. So I used to play. I had a rough idea and played online a little bit. The free Zynga poker and just the free games. And then when I was 18, one of my friends, he brought me to a pub game.
Okay.
So it was free to play, but you could win, vouchers and that type of thing. And then after my first poker game, I really enjoyed it. I got to like meet really good people. So my first game, I guess, was officially in a like pub poker, free poker.
Do you still remember your first poker game?
Yeah, I still remember
where it
was. It was in Woody Point. It's in the Belvedere Hotel.
Okay, that one which is near the jetty.
Yeah, right near the jetty.
Yeah.
So it was a nice area.
Oh,
but I drove out there to play there with my friends. So that was my first ever.
Did you have the beginner's luck with you? Did you win?
No, I did not win. I actually remember folding. I had pocket kings and the board was maybe 10 high. And then someone bluffed me off it because I thought he had a set because he was putting money in the pot. So I remember folding pocket kings and then he showed me like a bluff. Or he just had a 10. And I was like, I just remember that clearly.
Now we all have very distinct memory of the very first game.
Yeah.
But then what was that breakthrough moment like when you thought, okay, let me take it more seriously. Let me see, if I can really excel in that. Do you remember that moment? When you decide, okay, let's take it to the next level?
Yeah. Well, I had been playing quite a few pub games and I used to win a decent amount. So I used to win a lot of vouchers and then I would take my parents out and family to eat from like the vouchers that I used to win. And then I think the moment I kind of fell in love with the game is was like the Aussie Millions on TV. And then there was a hand where this guy was value betting, but he made it look like he was bluffing, just the way that he played the hand. And then in my head, I was like, oh, you can do that? Like it was like a concept that I'd never thought about. And then that's when I realized, I was like, oh, there's actually a lot to this game. It's not just what cards you're looking at.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of depth. So that was the first time I kind of was like, wow, actually, there's a lot to this game.
Okay. But then what was the next step? Did you decide to study poker?
Yeah. Well, the next step would be, they used to have a lot of regionals and then APL came around. So I used to play like the main events and like the bigger games. And then only recently, maybe the last few years, when I started having like a closer group of poker friends that studied a lot, is when I really started looking at like the theory and.
No, but can you take one step back, Adam? Yeah. So you were playing pub poker, you were watching online,
yes.
You were getting excited and you were saying, okay, there's a different way to play. Professions are playing in a different way. The value betting, those, keywords and codes, and they talk about you getting excited.
Yeah.
But then did you actually put a plan in place that you thought, okay, let me put X money into my bankroll. I'm going to study in detail. Then I'm going to try very hard.
Yeah.
Or did it happen organically? I really want to see how did you actually came on the poker scene in the last 3 years, because even when you're playing main event, there's $1,000 buy-in. It is, a decent amount like in Australia. So I want to know, how did you transition into that? And was that a conscious decision? And when you were doing that, what things you were looking at?
Yeah, I would say it was more organically. So it wasn't something where I was consciously saying, okay, I'm going to take it to the next step. I'm going to start having a bankroll. Okay. It was more playing like the APT events, the smaller buy-ins, and then you're doing well, so you're winning some money. And then eventually you kind of like, I'm actually doing well. I might try play like the grind, which is maybe $1,000 buy-in. I remember used to see that tournament like, wow, that's so big. Like I can't, like, will I ever play that? And then I remember playing my first big tournament. Yeah. And I just felt comfortable. I was like, oh, it's actually not that big of a jump. Like I feel fine. I can just play my normal poker. So it was more organic that I started playing the bigger games. Yeah. And then I did quite well.
I can totally relate to that. Yeah. Because as a matter of fact, I started playing when I was uni. Yeah. But then I took a big break. I was playing for fun when I was in uni. Yes. And when I moved to Brisbane, I was, raising my family, running my business. And back in 2023, late 23, I started playing for fun. Yeah. So I started going to Eden Hills Hotel. Yes. And I had the same thing. I was winning a few games, but I was having more fun. Yeah. But poker for me was at that time was a stress release thing. You know, it was also sports for me because I was taking it as a mental sport, and you know, I'm challenging my brain, learning what needs to be done, how to handle different situation. It's about decision making. But the turning point for me was 2024. I went to play one of the APL games which happened in Brisbane City, and I actually cashed in one of the big games. And then again, they had another series which happened in Chermside after a few months. And I played 4 games, and out of those, in 3 games, I came on final table, and I won one of the tournament.
Oh wow, nice.
So I actually thought I belong here. I do have what it takes. And I started taking more seriously. And I think you're making the same point that you felt like you belong there. You can be in the big players league, and you have what it takes. So, but tell me, like, since then you've been playing many formats. You've been playing PLO. You've been playing mystery bounty format. I think this is your specialty. You have won 140,000 in bounties only.
That was.
So talk me about that.
Like, that was an amazing run. That was like, I guess, a run that everybody dreams of to have. So yeah, that was the WPT main tour they held in Gold Coast. So after day 1, I was actually quite short. I almost didn't make it through to day 2.
I read about that actually. I think you were down to 12 blinds or 14 blinds.
So in the end I bagged 12 blinds, but it was 1 a.m. in the morning. They were playing 3 off the money, like 3 off bagging, and I had about 5 big blinds. So I thought I'm going to be the one that bubbles and doesn't make it. And then I guess hung in there. I just grinded. Like I even had to miss my blinds went through. I ended up with 3 big blinds at one stage.
Wow.
And there was 1 off the money, 1 off bagging. So I was just like, this is like, it's going to be me. Like,
so what was the strategy then? You had a good sun run, or you waited for the right opportunity, and then once you started playing, because I want to know more about the mystery bounty game itself, because everybody wants to knock you out because that's where the money is. So can you talk a little bit about what happened once you chipped up? What was the strategy? What was the decision making?
So during day 2, once I chipped up, I doubled up quite early. So I won a flip. And then I actually picked I was the second person to pick a bounty after bagging a short stack.
Okay.
So everyone was quite surprised when they called my name up. They're like, how did Adam get a bounty when he was so short? Because a lot of my other friends bagged 50 big blinds plus. But I guess the strategy, once I chipped up and had a covering stack, was pretty much I played almost every pot. And then in bounties, there is some strategy that you can employ.
Would you care to share one?
I mean, you can actually limp a lot rather than raising. Because as a big stack, by limping, you get to see a lot more flops, but then you also can trap. So if you limp and then someone tries to re-raise or go all in to isolate a smaller bounty, if I have aces, then it's I'm just trapping.
No, but you're saying, so even if you have a premium hand, you're not raising, you're just limping in, and you're letting other players to raise, and then you're making a move, or you trying to connect with the board and then trying to make the best use of it. Is that how you are
that's
doing it?
Okay. That's pretty much what happens. And then also putting since I have a lot of chips and I cover, I put a lot of pressure on other stacks as well.
Okay.
So if they're trying to isolate for a bounty, I know that their range is meant to be wide. But then my stack is bigger. So if I go all in, it puts pressure on them. So they pretty much have to learn quite quickly that they have to stay in their place, pretty much. Because,
that's a classic ICM pressure and a classic big stack bully tactic. But I think it worked out very well. Because when I was playing a few times the bounty game, I had a few crazy plays and they were just going all in, and their range was so wide, very unpredictable. So I guess there are two sides of the coin. But tell me, before you're playing all these big games, do you have a mechanism where you prepare yourself mentally, or any ritual which you do to calm yourself, or steps you take before the game?
Yeah, so I think pre-game is definitely quite important. A lot of people don't put enough emphasis on just like healthy habits that you can do before the game. So I guess a big one is the morning of a big game, I'll go out and walk.
Okay.
Just to like, casual walk, but as long as you're outside breathing in fresh air, it kind of settles you, gets you focused, ready for the game. I think a lot of players in the poker community, because you finish so late one day, they might still stay up and talk or be on their phone, so they don't get much sleep, and then they wake up just enough time to go straight to poker.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite important to.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
It's good to take a break and have that mental relaxation, so there's no mental fatigue, because poker is all about making decision, and it can be tiring. And especially when you go for a walk, and when you take the sunlight in, it really awakens your mind as well. And I definitely agree with you. It's very important. And okay, when you play on the table, do you have any lucky charm, or are you superstitious that way?
I don't really have any lucky charms. There is one T-shirt that I wear. It's an old rugby jersey from when I used to play like rugby league in junior rugby. It still fits me. I've noticed that shirt I win the most tournaments in. So like I won my mystery bounty in it. I won my WSOP ring in it. I've looked back at all my photos and I've noticed for some reason when I wear that shirt, I win. I run really good. So
if you want to see the lucky T-shirt, click here. Watch
it. But yeah, it's a bit iconic, that T-shirt. A lot of my friends are like, oh no, Adam's wearing his shirt, so he's gonna, like, everyone's done for.
Everybody's scared.
Yeah,
he's in the T-shirt
scared.
today,
Like,
so
I've got
everyone
the
runs
T-shirt, I can't
scared.
lose, so yeah.
Do you carry a bag, and if you do, what can we find in your bag?
I usually just carry like a small sling bag, mainly in my power bank, hand sanitizer, because it's very important to keep, sanitized so you don't get sick during these big poker games. Mainly just chewing gum, and that's about it. Yeah, nothing really too much.
Not fair. No? Not like since the last 3 years, you've been playing big games. You've been winning a lot of games. Your name is doing the circles. So what is your strategy right now? Like, what is your game plan? Where do you see yourself in the next, say, 2 to 3 years? And if you can talk about your bankroll management strategy as well. Like, how do you look at that? Whatever money you are earning, because audience, I just want to let you know, Adam has won more than $650,000. It's a significant amount. You can easily buy a house. So have you used that money for your personal, or are you keeping it on the side for poker? Can you walk us through?
Yeah. So when I won my big tournament, my 240,000, I mainly used most of that for my life roll. So I'm building a house at the moment. So that helped a lot to go for that. I do put a small amount aside for my poker bankroll. But I have a full-time job, so I don't have to be as strict with my poker bankroll as, say, a professional player who solely relies on that as their income. So I've been quite lucky in that regard. So that's why I guess I can play some bigger games without having to worry too much about being super strict with a bankroll. Because I do work full-time. And
like, what's your favorite buying amount? Do you go with a particular range, or it really depends upon your mood?
Yeah, I guess I probably would be most comfortable and playing 400, like 350 to 800, 600, 800. I would say that's probably the most comfortable.
That's the most common range anyway.
Common range. I do play a lot of 1K buy-ins plus, and I've had a lot of success. Like, I've won a few 1K plus buy-ins.
Do you have any investors who buy in stake for you?
In the past I have sold a little bit, but mainly just to friends, and it's mainly just for excitement, so that if I win, they win. But in general, I don't.
So mainly swapping the action, but not professional
investors
I don't coming in to back your action.
No, nothing like that. Maybe if I happen to go full-time poker, I might need that, but right now I don't need.
Is that on the table?
I don't need that. Possibly part-time would be ideal.
Okay.
Part-time poker, yeah. Full-time poker seems like a grind.
For a single, champion, no kids,
Yeah.
this is the right time to,
Yeah,
to
exactly. Yeah. So I have been thinking about that.
Yeah.
Once, my house and everything is sorted, then
Yeah.
I'm going to look at possibly, doing some part-time,
Some
trying to
part-time,
play a bit
okay.
more. Yeah.
But do you have any set goals for the next 2-3 years, or you just taking it as it comes?
Mainly taking it as it comes. I guess the biggest goal would be to transition work to maybe more part-time,
Mhm.
and then so I can have a bit more time to travel and play some of the games.
You were mentioning you went to Las Vegas in 2023.
Yes.
I was reading an article where you were like chip lead on day one.
Yeah.
And then I want you to tell the story so the audience can hear directly from you.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that particular tournament?
Yeah.
What happened? Where did you
Okay.
end up? And
Yeah. So that was part of me winning the mystery bounty. Part of first prize was they had a package to fly me to Las Vegas and buy me in to its, I believe they called it the WPT Prime, like World Prime,
yeah.
which was 1.1K US buy-in. So that was actually, I was quite proud of myself in that tournament. I didn't run very pure at the start. I actually busted my first bullet in a cooler.
Yeah.
I remember I had king queen. I flopped a straight. It was 9-10 jack, rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was 3 people in the pot. And then I remember the turn just being like another 9. So repeating the 9 with another. Now it brings a flush draw. And then this maniac, I had about 60 big blinds. He had me covered. He had 70. He just goes all in. The pot is maybe 10 big blinds. He just went all in for 70. Small stack also went all in for maybe 15. And then I'm sitting here with the nut straight. Obviously, he could have a full house, but I was unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up calling a massive pot halfway through day one. He just had a flush. He flopped the bottom straight. He had 7-8 of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So he turned a flush draw and had bottom straight. Ended up a heart. And from my 50 big blind, 60 blind stack, I was out. And I remember sitting in the hallway and just thinking, why now? Why now? Why is this happening to me now in Vegas? Like the biggest tournament. I was playing so well. I had so many chips. Took like maybe 15 minutes to, just think and, just message some friends being like, oh, this just happened. And then I reset.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm playing well. That was just unlucky.
Yeah.
I'm still feel good. So I actually went and rebought.
Yeah.
Played amazing, ran it up again. Good big stack in the middle of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Get moved tables. First hand. Again, a 5-bet pot. I have pocket kings. The other guy has ace-5 of hearts. Ace in the window. I thought he had me covered. When they counted it out, I had about 30K left, which was about 10 big blinds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, why did this happen? Like, again, cool it in this biggest tournament. And then from that 10 big blinds on that same table,
Mm-hmm.
I spun it all the way up to 1.7 mil, which I bagged.
Wow.
And that was flight A. So I was chip leader of flight A. They had maybe 5 more flights.
Mm-hmm.
They end up having 10,500 entries, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And after all those flights, I was still the chip leader. So that was, pretty amazing.
Now I can imagine, coming from 10 big blinds and bagging 1 million plus, it's an amazing.
Yeah.
We hear these stories, about chip and a chair, but very rarely it happens.
Yeah.
In my whole life, it has happened only once with me.
Okay,
I had one chair,
Yeah.
one chip and a chair, and actually won that tournament.
Yeah.
But it's so hard. The variance is so much, and especially in one of those big games.
Yeah.
When you're playing WPT in Vegas or WSOP, so many plays are there. It's such a mathematically it's such a difficult game to beat.
Yeah.
But tell me, you mentioned something when you had one of those coolers, which happened. And when you're playing everything right, you have made the right decision, you have played the cards perfectly, but then that cooler situation happened. Then how do you deal with those swings? How do you deal with those bad beats, those variances? What
Yeah.
is your strategy? How do you manage to control yourself?
Yeah. Pretty much, I guess my strategy would be, I always try to look at it from the outside perspective. So I always think, do I feel if I'm playing well myself?
Yeah.
Would I want this person to call? Like, would I still get the money in the same spot again every time?
Mm-hmm.
And then if the answer is yes, I have a 80% chance to win the hand, then it's just unlucky. There's nothing else you can do. So I think in poker you have to have quite a strong mindset, because if you let that get to you, you can do everything right and still lose the hand, which is the sick part of the game.
Yeah.
But you just have to know that in the long run you will win. So I just have to keep that in perspective.
But what if you are, say, let me give you a life situation. Let's say you're on a final table, you're the chip leader, and you have this one person who's talking, big game, but just folding. And in one hand, he's talking big again, and he shoves all in. He's probably like the third biggest stack on the table.
Yeah.
You have ace jack. Now he's waiting for a premium hand. The person now he's shoved on with the premium hand, and you call.
Yeah.
And you show ace jack suited. He shows ace king unsuited, but the board plays out, and you have lost.
Yeah.
What would be your reaction in that particular situation? And would you go and tilt, and you have like he doesn't cover you, you still have say 20% of your stack left?
Yeah. In that situation, like usually if I'm happy how I've played the hand, and if he was going in, say all in every hand, and then I have ace jack suited and he goes all in, and I know that I'm way ahead of his range since he's just been going all in like a maniac, and I call, and then he just somehow happens to have ace king, then I internally would initially feel like that's so annoying, but then quickly I can bring myself back to the present and be like, I'm still calling him every day of the week because of the way that he's been playing. You might need to get up and take like one hand just to cool off, but usually I don't need to. I'm pretty good at being level-headed.
No, I need to pick your energy and your brain, because this is exactly what happened to me on the final table. I was a chip leader, and I lost my cool, and the guy wasn't going all in all the hands, but he was talking a lot. And funny enough, Lachlan was on that table, and he was down to 2 or 3 big blinds.
Wow. Okay.
And he actually ended up winning that final table.
Amazing.
And I still remember that day, and I'm like, wow, what has happened?
Yeah.
And I went in so much tilt, I shoved all in after 2 hands, where I could have waited because I still had a reasonable amount of chips. So again, it was, we learn from our experiences and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand where you're coming from, because see, with poker, I see there's a lot to learn from poker, and you can implement in your life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot which you do in your life which you can implement in poker.
Yes, I agree.
Poker is a lot to linked with spirituality and mindset.
Yes.
And as Indian, like having Indian background, one of our main religious texts is Gita, and Lord Krishna says the only thing which you can do is put your best effort, and you can do the best action possible.
Yes.
But you don't have to wait or expect any results or the outcomes.
Yes.
The only thing in your control is your action, and that's all you can do.
Exactly.
Whether you're going to get a positive outcome or negative outcome is not in your hands.
Yes.
And that is so true in poker as well.
That is very true in poker. Yeah. So, I feel like poker and life, there's a lot of crossover, and in poker you'll learn you can't control what is external. You can't control things you can't control. So you only have to focus on what you can control. Yeah. Be like the best version of yourself. And then,
any other strategy you have come up with to stay focused and because all you take is one bad move, one wrong decision, and
Yeah.
you can be out of the game.
100%. Yeah, I think everybody in poker has to deal with tilt.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be anybody that's 100% mentally super strong and would never get tilted.
Yeah.
So I guess one thing that I would do is, if I do feel myself getting tilted or starting to get impatient, you just have to walk away.
Yeah.
You just have to get up, walk away, go do a lap of the venue, go to the bathroom, go get a drink of water, breathe is the most important thing, is to breathe, and then come back and then reset. The worst thing you can do is sit at the table if you're tilted.
Maybe we should start him yoga classes.
Yeah.
Teach some breathing exercises.
I mean, go sit in the middle of the venue and just start doing yoga. Who cares what anyone thinks?
That's definitely, especially,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you, but I'm still feeling sometimes I have a very strong hand and I'm trying to control my breathing,
Yeah.
but you just can't control because of the situation.
Yeah.
Or you have a semi-strong hand, but you have many outs to come, and then other player is playing very aggressively.
Yeah.
And then I do feel like, taking a break, just doing some yoga on the table.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's you should.
How do you balance your life outside poker? Do you have an equation like, okay, I'm gonna play 10 hours per week, poker, and then the rest I'm gonna do whatever you do in your personal capacity? Like, how do you balance your personal and poker life?
So it's always difficult to try and find balance, especially with poker and working full time, because a lot of your weekends, it's taken up either by poker or other, obligations.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the main way that I've balanced it is I try to have one day where I can get things done at home, like throughout the day, and then maybe at night or the next day I'll have like a poker day.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult to kind of find the balance, but yeah.
But do you try to play every week, or do you have?
I tried to in the past, maybe the last few years, I have been playing like mainly on the weekends, just playing every week.
Okay.
But recently I've been trying to find a lot more balance and just, I guess, incorporate more fitness and more kind of skipping the smaller poker games, so I have more time for life.
Yep.
For life.
Yep.
And then saving that for bigger poker games.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what other hobbies do you have outside poker? Like, what do you do in your free time or weekends when you want to recharge yourself?
Yeah. Gaming, playing some certain computer games, just relaxing, watching Netflix and that type of thing.
Okay.
I used to do a bit of boxing. So that took up, there was one part, a few years that took up a lot of time. And that was quite fun, actually. I didn't really think about poker too much when I was doing that, because that was my focus and that was it entertaining.
You in the zone.
Yeah, in the zone. So, but yeah, if I could get back to that would be,
No, I think that's a great thing. And I think I will say to every poker player that you have to do some sort of fitness exercise, go to gym, play sports, because I firmly believe a healthy mind cannot live in an unhealthy body. And given the routine, poker can go for, long hours. You sit all the time. You have to do a lot of mental exercise. You have to look after your body. Otherwise, you can't make those optimum decisions. You are bound to go on tilt. You're bound to make mistakes. Yeah. And all you need to do is make one mistake and you're out of the game.
Yes. So I think fitness is one of the most important parts.
Super important. Poker. Yeah. Tell me, how does your family feel about poker? Like, do they support you, or they are a bit afraid what's, happening?
Yeah. I guess initially they were a bit afraid. They always used to be, when I used to go play pub games, they'd be like, be careful. Like, they'd tell me all stories about how people lose all their money and that type of thing. And I used to say, it's just free poker and I can win vouchers, so there's no problem. But then obviously the games get bigger and bigger. But I've been pretty lucky. My parents have been quite supportive. They've never been directly against it at all. So they've been, they're not very pushy. They're just very relaxed and very supportive. I
No,
think it helps when you keep coming home every week with money and vouchers and yeah.
No, definitely. I want to know a little about your game itself. Like everybody has a different learning curve.
Yeah.
Some people, they pick up books and they try to read through and then compare it with their own games. Some people like to use a lot of online software which is available. They go, use those solver strategy, see how they can replay their hand in a better, effective way. Some people just go with the learned experience, with the flow, just document their own past games and they try to learn from that. What's your style? How do you improve your game?
Yeah. So my main style is, I guess, learned experience. So I like to be more practical, and as I'm playing games, I'm reviewing hands. The most efficient and quickest way that I improved was finding a group of like-minded friends that also played poker. That were better than me, that were studying, and then we just discuss hands. So I think discussing your hands, reviewing your hands with multiple perspectives is the quickest way you can improve.
So more like a study group where you can bring your cases or, hand situations and then go through it. That's actually not a bad idea. Because then you have multiple perspectives, you can pick other people style as well. That makes sense. Any poker book you are reading or you have read or?
A long time ago, I read like a poker book. I can't remember what it's called, but it was a basic poker book when I was playing pub poker. But there's a lot of content on YouTube that anyone can use. Like pokercoaching.com with Jonathan Little is probably the most accessible, easiest to digest poker training, and it's free on YouTube.
Lately there's a lot of resource which is available on YouTube, and you can actually improve your game, just by watching those videos, and also by watching other players, when they're playing. The only one caveat I would say is that you have to look for what is the bind range, and because for a bigger game the strategy changes. For cash games it changes. I think we just need to be mindful of that. I didn't ask you, do you play online as well, or you mainly play live games?
Now I mainly play live. Like I have played online in the past, but usually I just can't find time to play online with work. So, but I'll prefer live, 100%. I haven't had much success online, I would say.
No, fair enough. You want to feel the players you're playing against and have those live, reads. Talking about reads, one of my favorite question is that, have you picked up any read or a tell sign which you look for when you're playing, the live poker? And if you don't mind sharing, one of your telltale signs.
So I guess a big part of my success has been picking up tells and being able to read my opponent. Like I wouldn't say I'm the strongest fundamentally compared to other players out there, but I have a lot of success because there's a human that element to poker. I guess the speed of betting. So the speed that someone bets, like it is a timing tell. That one I've noticed happens quite often to like with amateur players.
So can you go a bit?
So for example, if a player doesn't have a very strong hand and is trying to bluff you, they might bet very quick. So as soon as the flop comes out, he might bet very quickly. And then on the river, if a card comes, he'll just all in instantly. And I found that to be a sign of a weak tell, like a weak hand. Usually if you have a strong hand, you want to think about it. Like if you flop a strong hand, you're not just going to go bet straight away with top set of aces. You instinctively like, how am I going to get the most value out of this hand? And they don't want to seem strong. They usually try to seem weak when they're strong.
No, I agree. And because a lot of time you have to think about the sizing, what size you can put there, and what the other person is going to be expecting. And so I agree with that. Okay, that's an interesting one. Fair enough. Now, thanks, Adam. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I wish you all the very best. In the last segment, we're going to have some quick fun.
All right.
We're going to do some quick rapid fire questions. and I want you to answer as soon as I ask a question.
Okay.
No time for thinking.
Okay.
So whatever comes to your mind, go for it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's like poker with a shot clock. But the shot clock's 5 seconds.
Alrighty. Favorite poker hand?
Aces.
Big stack or short stack more comfortable?
Big stack, 100%.
Favorite city to play poker?
Gold Coast.
Poker resources, book you could, or online you recommend?
Pokercoaching.com.
Okay. Dream heads up opponent?
Dream heads up opponent.
Yeah. Could be anyone.
Daniel Negreanu.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Most hated hand?
Oh, most hated hand.
Any hand which you have bad run?
Ace King is my most hated hand.
Classic.
Yeah.
Most loved hand?
Most loved hand. Pocket Kings.
Okay, I agree. Tea or coffee while playing? Yes or no?
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee, yeah. Music at table or no?
No, not usually.
Not usually. Okay.
If I need to control tilt, then
Okay.
I'll put music on.
I've already asked you, but I will ask you again. Lucky charm at the table?
Just my shirt.
Shirt.
Yeah. Click here for the shirt.
If you're not playing poker, what other game you'll be playing?
Ooh. I'd probably be playing sport. So maybe some sort of combat sport. MMA, boxing.
Yeah. Tournament or cash games?
Tournaments.
Online or live poker?
Live poker.
One word to describe your playing style?
Maniac.
What do you?
I think a lot of people would describe me as a,
I beg to differ. I played with you a few times. I think you're more of a grinder.
Depends what my stack size is, I guess.
No, that's interesting to see, how you are looking, yourself at your playing style.
Yeah.
Because my perception is totally different.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how you're observing your own.
I reckon put in the comments if you think I'm a grinder or am I a maniac.
All right. I want to get the maximum comments. I think he's a grinder.
Okay.
And Adam thinks
I
he's
think people think I'm a maniac. So we'll see what the public thinks.
Alrighty. So thanks a lot, Adam.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed, having this conversation with you. And I wish you all the very best.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You have done amazing work in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You have won so much money, and more than that, you have won your reputation. You're a very nice guy. Everybody likes you.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the very best for the coming time and years.
You.
And I'm very, very sure you're going to win some big tournaments.
Yes,
Thank you.
There's some big ones coming up. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the episode. What a great guy. There were so many golden nuggets which I picked up during the discussion. And the thing which I really liked, that he is very balanced. He has thought things through, managing his personal life and poker life in a very right way, and has a very clear expectation what he wants to do in the future. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope you did as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe and help us out. You have a great day. Be safe.